Just making sure we're going. It is Thursday, August 24th, 2023 AD. 9:01 a.m. U.S. Pacific Daylight Time here in Los Angeles. Gonna have a fun show. We'll get to your calls. You can call in if you're hearing the show live. 1-888-775-3773. Live. The Hake Report, live. 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific Time. That's 11 to 1 Central Time. 12 to 2 Eastern. I rarely say that. TheHakeReport.com. New and improved. Well, not very new, but somewhat improved. TheHakeReport.com has the links to all the alternative, all the fellow JLP network hosts, including Wow Hassan and Joel Friday TV and American Anchor Baby. And, of course, the Fallen State and Church with JLP. And the Jesse Lee Peterson Network page on JLPtalk.com. What will we cover today? Raise your hands, RINOs. Raise your hands, RINOs. Oh, Lord. That was funny. A funny moment that I just so happened to see on that Republican debate. Pretty funny to me. Mr. Tryhard. Mr. Me first. Pick me. Pick me. See, Mr. Pick me. That's a black term for malice towards blacks who don't sufficiently hate whites. You're such a pick me black. Anyway, that's how I see Vivek Ramaswamy. DeSantis had to look around. Maybe he wasn't paying attention, but we'll cover that. Christie, another tryhard, the opposite direction. Tryhard versus tryhard. Christie versus Vivek. And you guys hate Israel, right? Nikki Haley's is America last, according to Citizen Free Press, which I disavow. It's not that Israel needs America. America needs Israel, she said. And she was arguing with Vivek Ramaswamy. The two Indians running for president of the United States of America. It's not enough that they've already taken over the UK. They also want to take over America. Those Indians. People talk about Jewish people running the world or Islam threatening America. No, it's the Indians. Anyway, I will talk about Trump and the border wall. CNN has a nice fact check on the border wall. I watched the whole Trump-Tucker interview, by the way. It was nice. Jenn Psaki, former Obama/Biden gal. She said, no one supports abortion up until birth. Please. So all that and some maybe other stories that I have mentioned in past days, but we shall see. Smithsonian, under black leadership, groveling to the blacks. I'm shaking my head. And some other things. And, of course, your calls, if you would like to call in. Some of you are already on hold. But anyway, guys, let's get right on with the show!
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La, la, la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La, la, la.
Hey, guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La, la, la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La, la, la.
So, how you guys doing? I am fine. I am wearing my snake shirt. One of my snake t-shirts for the Snake Pit. Shout out to the Snake Pit. That's the live chat over there. It's a cobra. It looks like a cobra. It's a yellow t-shirt. It looks more lime yellow, or lemon yellow, I suppose, on the, like a light whitish yellow on the screen, at least the screens that I'm looking at. But here in real life, to me, it looks like a solid, nice yellow. Also a lemon yellow, though, but more of maybe a hint of orange in it. Just a slight hint of orange. Pretty solidly yellow, though. Anyway, won't tell you where I got it. Won't tell you that it has 40% recycled polyester. Oh, but at least it's 60% cotton, I guess. Somebody said, by the way, that Hassan's show won't come up. What's wrong with you boomers? And he even spelled Hassan, Billy Turner says, and he spelled Hassan correctly. Somebody spelled it incorrectly with just one S. This is not Hassan Piker. Wow Hassan. W-O-W, very easy to spell. And new word, Hassan, H-A-S-S-A-N. When I searched on YouTube, 2 channels came up. One that was lowercase and it was like a little girl. And then one that was clearly Hassan's. It had a picture of Hassan walking on water or floating above the water along with Sandy. And Mr. Sandman. Sandenga. His dog, his Frenchie. Nice. French bulldog. I shall share it in the chat, Hassan. Because I made a reply command. Wow, Hassan! Walking on water, Hassan is the tag. So you guys no longer have any excuse. All right? And I'll even paste it in the Rumble chat. Yeah, spoiler alerts on it too. Nice. It was a fun show yesterday. He interviewed his dad. Right on. Any post-show commentary? The exclusive with Hassan.
No, just thank you, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support, the coffee, my first ever.
Yeah, he got to buy me a coffee going already. Not slacking like Joel Friday was.
Yeah, no, we need the support. We need the money.
Now, you forgot to check them and read them on air. Although you didn't really have a lot of time. You had to wrap it up with your dad.
That's true.
He has a 1-hour show from 11 to 12 on Wednesdays right after Hake. That's a Pacific time.
Yeah, no, but I appreciate it. I saw that Hake was the first coffee, so it's it's legendary. I appreciate it, man.
You'll read them next week.
Absolutely. Next week with Mama.
Wow.
It should be interesting.
Right on. So make sure you tune in, guys. Wednesdays, 11 to 12 Pacific, which is 1 to 2 Central, 2 to 3 Eastern. Right on. So that's your explanation. Let me get right to a call here, guys. You can call in 1-888-775-3773. Tony in California, everybody's favorite caller, except for Hake. Mike Pence is the topic of Tony from California's call, I think. What's up, Tony in California?
Good day, sir. How the heck are you?
I'm fine.
Wonderful, wonderful. I was just calling because y'all was talking about the debate last night, and then your former leader and boss man said something that was the most craziest thing I ever heard. Said that he was supposed to follow Trump and not do his duty as a vice president and follow the Constitution of America. And the thing is,
do you know spell it? Spell Constitution.
I didn't call you for no spelling bee, bro. I called you to speak.
But you don't know you don't know or care about any Constitution. This is the first. This is the first time I've ever heard you even mention the Constitution.
Can we have an honest talk and debate about what's going on in America?
I'll be honest.
Why do y'all
I don't know about you.
Why do you always want to carry America into the ditch? You had 81 million or more people voted for Biden. And y'all recounted 6 times in 5 different states.
Nice.
And the thing is, how much wasted money did y'all use? Why do Republicans use taxpayer dollars like it ain't nothing? Just keep wasting it. Y'all appealed Obamacare 75 times and it's still here. How many millions of dollars y'all wasted? But y'all don't care about the homeless.
That's
why
why
don't y'all take some of that wasted money and give it to the homeless and give them some place to lay their head comfortably inside our abandoned buildings or abandoned hotels or abandoned whatever houses?
Because they don't deserve it, and that's ridiculous.
See, there you go.
But you're right. That's why I called about Republicans doing the repealing of Obamacare, repeal and replace, because that's why I call them Republicans. But Mike Pence didn't uphold any constitution. It was a questionable issue that his beef with Trump was over maybe an honest disagreement. I don't know.
How can you overthrow
lawyers
what the people voted
disagree.
for, man?
Huh?
How can you overthrow what the people voted for? I mean, if that could be the situation, we might be be over there in Russia or North Korea or China and be a communist country.
You're not supposed to go to Wow Hassan official, Steven. It's just Wow Hassan, all caps. The heck, it's not taking you to some kid in India.
What are you talking about, bro? I'm talking to you. You're talking about some Hassan.
Yeah, I'm looking at the chat because they're talking about real things like Hassan's show, whereas you're talking about
things.
You're talking about fake. You're talking about fake disagreements. You're talking about fake disagreements with President Trump.
But you're talking about Hassan. He's not even a citizen.
How do you know?
He's just a green card, brother.
A green card. His mother's American. He's every bit as American as.
His mother's not American. His mother's not American.
Yeah, she is. She's as American as Obama. Wait a minute.
Pakistan.
Wait a minute. To say it, as Tony from California says, is Obama a citizen?
Of course he is.
But Obama's mother is American and his father is not, or was not. And same story with Hassan.
His father
Hassan is as American as Barack Obama, if not more so. Yes.
That's false.
And Hassan's mother was Christian, raised him Christian.
Oh, really? Well, I know the deal on that then.
What's that deal?
You call yourself a Christian, you the devil.
Touche.
But
his mother is white as gold.
Oh my God! No such thing as white. He's telling y'all that
gold is white.
Put that lie out there.
White? Hey, you haven't heard of white gold?
Keep on putting that lie out there, bro. Ain't no such thing as white. Not no human being. You might well call yourself color. I told you that the last time I spoke to you. You get mad, you turn pink. You get hit in the eye, you turn black. You go outside, you get burnt up. So come on, man. Y'all people of color. Y'all the real people of color.
Thank you.
But the thing is, man, Mike Pence did his duty and his job. He didn't follow a man. He didn't put this.
He followed many men. He followed the crowd.
Y'all Republicans are most now, but most y'all are in that cult culture. Okay. Y'all want to follow Donald Trump till he tell y'all to jump off the river, and y'all be like, okay, let me go first. How many people that died behind Donald Trump, bro? And he and Campbell. How many people that went to jail behind Donald Trump? He's made the worst president ever been in this country.
Really?
And he got the most record for the most corrupt president in this world. Besides Putin.
Now are you making that up? Where'd you hear this?
No, you know it's
Source,
true.
bro?
That's why you laughing.
Source?
You know it's true.
No. Trump is not corrupt.
How many people that went to jail behind Trump, man?
I don't even know what that means.
How many people that died behind Trump?
I don't know what that means either.
I know, because you don't want to keep that record.
Name one person who died behind Trump, quote unquote.
The lady from the Air Force in the Capitol building. She died because she believed a lie.
No, she died because she followed her thoughts to jump through that window, which was
ill-advised. Everybody was at that
Are you going to let me
Capitol
speak?
building on January 6th followed a lie.
No, not necessarily.
Yeah. You know it's true.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No,
you
I don't.
Even said it before.
For the sake of my channel, I shall agree with you. But I don't know that.
Yeah, tell the truth.
Is Ashley Babbitt responsible for her actions?
She had
then how you blame Trump for her?
Because she followed him down. That's why.
He said do it peacefully.
He told him.
Did he tell her? Did he tell her to hold on?
I will be with you. I will be there with you, and he never showed up.
He tried to. He tried to wrestle the steering wheel from the Secret Service.
TV. They was out there having a party wherever they was at. His son and his girlfriend.
Tony.
They out there dancing and stuff, watching people die.
Tony, this is a two-way conversation. You speak, and you don't jump in when I'm speaking. Well, you do, but we're trying to have an orderly conversation here.
Keep it real.
Yeah. So, did Trump tell Ashley Babbitt to jump through that window?
No, he told thousands of people to go there, and that's what he did.
Right, peacefully and patriotically. He didn't tell him to jump through any windows.
It was peacefully when she was trying to get through that window, and he got shot back through there.
Oh, so you admit she was being peaceful even though she was jumping through the window?
Well, no, she broke the window to get through it.
I don't know if she broke that window. You can't say.
Yes, I know.
How do you know? You're the only person who knows that.
It was so nationwide what she did.
I don't know if she broke that window. You may be giving fake news because you frequently lie. Every time you call, you lie.
Now you're trying to discredit me because you know I'm bringing the truth again.
No, but what do you think about Trump calling that black irresponsible Capitol Police officer a thug who shot her?
Well, hey, look what Trump
he called him a thug. That was nice.
Well, look what he called the district attorney. Called her a rigger or something.
A rigger?
You know what a rigger is, right?
Yeah, I disavow that because it was not rigged. It was totally on the up and up. Most secure in history.
What? The election?
Yeah, of course.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying when he called her a rigger, he meant to say the N-word.
No, Trump is not like that. He's not a vulgar person.
Keep it real, bro. Let's keep it real.
That is real. Anyway, man, that was amusing, entertaining.
Well, it's not entertaining. It's the truth. Mike, if you will be leaders of this country, follow the Constitution.
Hey, man, you're on your speakerphone. That's somewhat disrespectful.
Well, I'm sorry. I just got in my vehicle. I'm sorry.
I understand. You're a businessman.
Okay.
Now, real quick, let me ask you, since you came in here asking me questions about why Trump this, why Trump that, Constitution this, Constitution that, election this, election that, I recommend that you go to the source and watch Trump's interview with Tucker Carlson that premiered last night on Twitter.
I don't want to see a watered down debate. He always knows the answers and questions on before he answers the question. Come on, man.
I don't know if Tucker would have given him pre-rehearsed questions. Now you're just speculating.
You
don't know what you're talking about. You're just saying stuff.
It's all rigged and fake news. That's all. That's a real fake news.
You pretended to want to know. You pretend to want to know, but then you don't really want to go and find out.
I do.
You don't like hearing the truth, brother, from your brother, President Trump.
Truth. Y'all don't like hearing the truth. Like Jesse, when you tell them the truth, you're like, like he's speaking in tongues or
something. Funny. All right, man. Take care.
All right. Y'all have a good day.
You as well. Happy Men's History Month. Whew. What a relief, huh? Isn't it nice to have... You hear that? Silence. A moment of silence. Let's get to this, before I get back to calls, hang tight, callers. Let's get to this Republican debate. Raise your hands, RINOs. Clip 41A, HASSAN. I think I have this in here. 41, it's the Thursday equivalent of clip 11. Warlord Dilly tweeted out, and I'm going to censor his tweet. DeSantis, is it DeSantis or DeSantis? His wife convinced him to go by one as opposed to the other. Literally looked around to make sure it was safe. This guy interprets his actions to raise his hand. What a pup. Hashtag GOP debate. It's a little 19-second clip. Watch this very closely. This is when Brett Baer of Fox News, Faux News, and his co-moderator, Martha McCallum, mildly attractive, especially a little bit, several years ago anyway, especially. But anyway, they were hosting this debate with these 8 Republicans, DeSantis, Vivek Ramaswamy, Christie, Come on, I like him. Christie, Asa Hutchinson or Asa Hutchinson, Ada Hutchinson, if you ask Trump, and he didn't explain it because he didn't want to get in trouble. Who else? Oh, Nikki Haley, the other Indian anchor baby into America. What you saying, Hake? And all these others. Mike Pence, did I mention him? Mike 30 pence of silver selling out his brother. Anyway, here's the, let's try to find out who knows what the order was in terms of raising their hands. Will you support Trump even if he is convicted of these indictments or whatever charges? Will you still support Trump for president if he wins if the people vote for him over the rest of you losers? Asks Brett Baer, which is a valid question. Will you support him? And they all supposedly signed a pledge to support whomever the nominee was in order to get on that debate stage. But apparently some of them didn't really mean it when they pledged. What's that mean? That means that they lied on their pledge. They're not to be trusted, I guess. Here it is.
If former President Trump is convicted in a court of law, would you still support him as your party's choice? Please raise your hand if you would.
That boy raised his hand first. Some of the people on our right, raise your hand. And these others raise your hand late. Oh, late. The people on the left, the losers on the left, raise their hand all late. Clip 41B, I have it zoomed in on the losers on the left. Vivek is all raising his hand. He's the first to raise his hand. And then I think maybe some of those people on the right, like Tim Scott, Nikki Haley. She was literally he gave her a job, Trump did. And whoever that other guy is who ripped his Achilles. That same day, he messed up his Achilles. He's not fit. He looks fit, but he's not. That guy whom nobody knows, he raised his hand, I think. Let's watch the left-hand side, the left-hand path-taking people. DeSantis, who's running before time. Pence, who raised his hand after DeSantis, I think. And then Christie raised his hand. Tim Scott's the black rhino. The fat rhino, Christie from New Jersey, who hugged Obama and gave him his re-election after that hurricane or whatever hit New Jersey. Remember that? 2012? 11 years ago? He hugged him. He hugged Obama. Anyway, Christie. I kind of like him, though. He's kind of... I like him in the way that I like Biden. He tells you... He kind of goes off half-cocked. That's what I like about him. And then Asa Hutchinson, whatever, from Arkansas, didn't even raise his hand. What a loser. So he violated his agreement in one of the early questions. Or I don't know when this question took off. So here it is.
If former President Trump is convicted in a court of law, would you still support him as your party's choice? Please raise your hand if you would.
1, 2, 3, 4. Him. And then he raised his hand a little bit. And then he said, no. So I watched this portion of that Republicans debate. A hurricane 12 years ago? Be more specific. In New Jersey. I don't know if it was a hurricane. So it looked like Mike Pence has better peripheral vision than Ron DeSantis, because Ron DeSantis literally had to look around. But it's quite possible that here's what popped into my mind, because we don't know that Ron DeSantis looked around. Maybe he looked around and realized it sunk in what the question was. You know, sometimes you say, huh? After somebody asks you a question, and then before they're able to repeat their question or have to repeat their question, it sinks in what they said, and then you respond to them. So you said, huh? Some people say if you can hunt, you can hear. JLP been saying that lately. And sometimes that's true. Sometimes it sinks in and you realize what they said. So maybe that happened to DeSantis. He woke up out of his slumber. He did seem a little sleepy or something. And so Mike Pence, he raised his hand all late too. Mike Pence. And then Christie was very late. He raised his hand too. But those were sheepish hand raises. Whereas Vivek's, he was sure. He raised his hand if he was sure. Luckily, he was wearing a sport coat so you couldn't see any sweat on his pits. Pardon me, ladies, if that's slightly vulgar. Each IQ has a specific reaction time, says Lin Yen Chin. Average is 250 to 300 milliseconds. Even Olympic sprinter can't react faster than 140 milliseconds. Non-sprinter blats and people and other PPD people are much slower. That's why you're supposed to, when you're at a race, you're at the starting line, you're supposed to be looking at the gun or keeping an eye, have the gun in eye shot. Maybe even in your peripheral vision, because your peripheral vision is more sensitive than your straight-on vision. Did you know? To light, sound, movement. No, not sound. I don't think that your eyes can pick up sound, maybe. But light and color and movement. Your peripheral. Did you know? You can see stuff in your peripheral vision that you can't see straight on. But anyway, that's science. So you're supposed to look for the flash of the gun and the smoke from the gun because the speed of light is much faster than the speed of sound. So if you're waiting to hear the gun go off, that's that much slower of reaction time. FYI. Anyway, that's somewhat irrelevant to these slow Republicans raising their hands all late. And it turns out Christie said he changed his mind on the spot, all half cocked, and said no. He seemed to anyway, because he lifted up his hand while they were all had their hands up. And Brett Baer's all, you were kind of late to the party. No, I wasn't raising my hand. I didn't do this. I did this. No, but he did this. He's raising his hand or putting up one pointer finger because he has a question or a concern or a comment. And then he said, we have to stop normalizing this conduct. Loser. DeSanctimonious, Trump calls Ron DeSantis. Yeah, look at Ron DeSantis. Last one, and it's Vivek, first man, the try-hard, and then DeSantis, who's petering out, seemingly. Or am I wrong? 41C, a little 5-second clip. Here it is, zoomed in.
If you would.
Maybe he just had, again, we don't know. We don't know that he was looking around to follow the crowd. It looks like it, but you don't know. Like I said, it could sink in later maybe he was thinking about something else on the debate stage. Sometimes I have callers talking to me. I'm like, what? Sorry, I zoned out. Oh, that's funny. Big Bump says that my little story about, or my little tip about looking at the gun for the flash is from a distance runner's perspective, and I just outed myself as a distance runner. A sprinter looks down for trajectory and speed out of the blocks. That's right, because this sprinter can't even look at the gun. That's why sometimes they jump the gun. Fair point, Big Bump. Oh, Tony called in, and I forgot to address him on something. Oh, man. I got to read some super chats real quick. Some super chats have come in, and then I will get to your calls, guys. We're at the bottom of the hour anyway already. Over on Streamlabs, King Alpha Nerd said, sweet cream on an ice cream sandwich. I haven't heard that phrase before, but it sounds delicious, makes my mouth water. Let me take a drink. That story about the whites using fake diplomas from Tony in California. He called yesterday, right? said, "Oh, not all." He said he stole a line from JLP, right? Not all, but most whites are using fake diplomas to artificially prop up their resume in order to get jobs. And the only stories I can read about that dated back to 2004 and 2006, says King Alpha Nerd. Whoa. Is that true? No, there must be something else in the news, because Tony doesn't bring up old news. Tony, are you jealous about the white man because you think about the white man every day? Says King Alpha Nerd. That's funny. And Big Bump said, knock it off, Tony. Tony in California. I have a family member who has a fake diploma and credentials. Oops, I spit. Tony in California. I should have addressed him on that. See, I'm slow. I pulled the Ron DeSantis. It's not that I was looking around for approval or to fit in with the crowd of Republicans. No. It's not that I was afraid to stand alone. It's just that DeSantis needs to stay in his lane as a governor. Yeah, maybe he has a fake diploma. Anyway, it's just that I didn't think of it. Terrible. Anyway, we're still, while we're on these super chats, Lin Yen Chin donated basically right before the show started. Hassan, Lin Yen Chin says, your father has a well-refined sense of fitting his heart in the art of role-playing. He has attained masterful tact in every act of deflection, evasion, and promotion of whatever he chooses. A+ in liability evasion. He makes it look manly. Clap, clap, clap emojis. It's like a backhanded compliment, I guess, of your dad's verbal IQ in diplomatic answers, to put it nicely.
I mean, he is a car salesman.
Oh, nice.
You know these Middle Eastern people, they're all Aladdins. They all just bizarre salesmen.
Nice. That's pretty funny. I didn't really pick up keenly on that, but Lin Yen Chin is right about that. He's right about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's like, we should all get along. Israel and Palestine, they're brothers. And but I liked the answers too, even though they may have been dodging. So you were kind of baiting him into taking sides against the Jewish people. Muslims and Christians against Jewish people, because Jewish people are allegedly nastier towards Jesus, the idea of Jesus, than Christians and Jews. But Christians and Jews, just because they have nice ideas about Jesus, doesn't mean anything, huh?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know. I was just kind of seeing, yeah.
That was interesting what he said, that all three religions revolve around Jesus.
That was.
Yeah, I was expecting Abraham or the same God, but he literally said Jesus.
Yeah, that is true.
I didn't know that the Muslims called him the Messiah. Him the Messiah.
Yep.
Which is interesting.
And according to, I don't know if he's told me this but according to someone, Jesus is actually mentioned and referenced in the Quran more than the Bible, actually.
Oh, really?
According to some sort of, it might have been him, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting that he said that. I looked back at that and I was like, yeah, it's interesting. But what he didn't say is the thing that Jesus, he didn't mention the main Jewish reason why Jesus is connected to Jews.
Well, and why is that?
They killed him.
Oh, well, what he meant was Jesus is the Messiah.
Oh, yeah.
And they're waiting for the Messiah. Moshiach is coming.
Yeah.
I've seen lately on their signs and bumper stickers and things.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right. He was making a broader point about, you're right, about the...
That's funny. It's funny that people bring up that the Jews killed Jesus, because I think of it as we did, because we are the sinners and he died for us, And somebody had to be the one to do it, like he said about Judas Iscariot. Someone had to be the one to do it. But woe unto him, huh?
It's a good point.
Yeah. And and like I said before, like the same spirit that plays nice about Jesus or thinks that it understands Jesus and really doesn't is evil, just as the evil that says vulgar things about Jesus. So I don't really buy into all this piling on necessarily towards the Jews just because they have this funny gripe. Nick said, "We are the new Israel." Yeah. I think did he say that?
Oh no, I said that. Nick,
Oh, you said
Nick,
that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I forgot, and I like that Nick brought that up to me because that was my one highlight.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, not all who are by blood Israel are Israel in spirit. Like we're supposed to have the spirit of the children of God or the chosen people of God. Nice. But he did say God said something to the effect of I will bless those who bless you and curse those who curse you. And literally, if you curse anyone, you're cursed. So I don't know if this is Israel specific or just your fellow man. A lot of people hate Israel, and that hatred comes back on them. And a lot of people in Israel hate other people, and that hatred comes back on them. And so you shouldn't be cursing anybody, I think. Leave that to God, I say.
I agree.
Speaking of that, Vivek and Nikki Haley said something somewhat interesting, or had a little beef. You guys hate Israel, right? I say that like my whole chat is full of people who are Israel critics, which is not. There's boomers, there's people who love Israel, and then there's the squeaky wheel Israel critics, somewhat akin to the squeaky wheel flat earthers. I'll have a whole lot of baltards in my chat as well, and in my audience out there. But clip 42 is from Citizen Free Press stating, Nikki tweeting this video's 6-second video. 6 seconds. They fit all this in 6 seconds. Those fast-talking Asians. And by Asians, I mean Indians. I don't think of that as very Asian, but I guess it is. I know it is. Nikki Haley is America last, says Citizen Free Press. Didn't know you were like that, Citizen Free Press. It's not that Israel needs America. America needs Israel. So she's bashing Vivek Ramaswamy, who wants to bring up Abraham Accords 2.0, whatever that means. I know nothing about foreign policy stuff. Here it is.
I want to learn from those and apply those to protect our homeland, Nikki.
Israel needs America. America needs Israel.
Okay.
So if you picked up on that, she said, it's not that Israel needs America, it's that America needs Israel. I think one needs the other more than the other needs the one, I think. Although, I don't know. And so Information Liberation, I think, wrote up an article, Nikki Haley's most spirited moment during this 2024 presidential primary debate, yesterday, was when she went on a tirade in defense of U.S. aid to Israel by claiming Israel doesn't need America, but the other way around. Chris Menahan noted that. And an interesting tweet from one Indian Brosnan about Vivek, quoting Vivek Ramaswamy, who states, he says the right things, right? He says the right things sometimes, a lot of the time. You know what I love about Israel? Says Vivek, allegedly. Per Indian_Bronson. I love their border policies. I love that they have a national identity. And so Indian_Bronson calls that an interesting statement from Vivek Ramaswamy. Yeah, they have a national identity. So why are you trying to subvert ours, Vivek? Or is he? Does he love white people? That's one of the questions. Will he honor White History Month? Or is he going to just be a Fox News, faux news friendly try-hard? Try-hard? Is that the right word for it? Here, last little bit, and then we'll get back to calls, guys. You can call in. Christie. Chris Christie bashed him. A fellow try-hard on the opposite spectrum in terms of like a never-Trumper now. Clip 43, Governor Christie tweeted, and he's not a blue check mark on Twitter. He's not a paying X member, X supporter or whatever. And he tweeted, someone had to unplug the computer, or somebody in his team tweeted it, more likely, right? A little 35-second clip of him going after Vivek Ramaswamy. Here it is.
Hold on. Listen.
I've had enough.
Hold on.
I've had enough. I've had enough already tonight of a guy who sounds like ChatGPT standing up here. And the last person in one of these debates, Brett, who stood in the middle of the stage and said, what's a skinny guy with an odd last name doing up here, was Barack Obama, and I'm afraid we're dealing with the same type of amateur standing on stage tonight.
Give me a hug just like you did to Obama.
The same type of amateur.
Got him. Give me a hug just like you did to Obama. They just clowned each other. There was another moment that I don't have in which Vivek Ramaswamy called out Chris Christie because Chris Christie accused Trump of being on a personal vendetta or something like that to get his get back in office or something, or prove the election shenanigans, which I disavow for the sake of my channel. Not that it helps. I still get strikes anyway. And Vivek Ramaswamy's all, speaking of personal vendettas, you're the one your whole campaign is a personal vendetta against Trump. All I ever hear is sound bites of when I hear of Chris Christie, it's sound bites of him bashing Trump. But anyway, I like, in that sense, I see him as kind of a real guy because they're calling out each other's phoniness. And they're both right about each other. They're right about each other. Tony is striking your channel, Hake, says someone whose name I feel like I shouldn't repeat on air. Thank you. So that was amusing, right? Amusing. Not highly entertaining, but amusing to me. I'm getting a headache. William is in California on the line. William, thanks for calling, man. What's up?
Oh, good morning. How you doing, number 5?
Doing fine, man. Thank you.
Yeah, it was actually perfect. Everything really fell in place last night. That clip that you show when they raise their hands kind of pretty much tell you what's going on. I think Nikki Haley shot herself in the foot.
Yeah. How did she do that?
When she's just, look, you're talking about the anchor. You're talking about the great white hope. You're talking about the anchor. He's going to run the fourth leg no matter what. You know anything about it? That was a good analogy.
Oh, yeah, the anchor. Yes.
Yeah, it was a good analogy a few minutes ago about the track and field, because if you look at the relay team, the fastest guy that ran the 100 meters, you're going to put him on the block, the first leg, because he's got the best reaction time, and he's going to run you down. But the baddest dude on the track is going to be probably the 200-meter runner, and that's Donald Trump. He's going to run the anchor.
Yeah.
So this was perfect by not having him there.
Yeah, I agree. I liked it.
Up so that you could see who's who.
Yeah.
Now, the youngster, I think, won the debate, in my opinion.
Yeah, but he's the top of the dung pile, I say.
Yeah, well, that's a pretty big population, the Indian population.
Yeah.
And, if you look at the dynamics, India keeps China in line.
Nice.
And that is a big population here in America, the Indians, and that's the second largest population in the world, and they are with the West. So I see some connection there. Tim Scott shot himself in the leg trying to be dramatic like
yeah,
like Kamala Harris did,
yeah.
during the impeachment. She was putting on a show. So you see, if you know anything about politics, that is politics. Let's see. The old guy, completely gone.
Asa Hutchinson or whatever?
Completely gone.
Yeah.
Mike Pence is about himself.
Yeah.
So it's actually perfect the way it all laid out. Let them beat themselves up. And Trump was watching very closely, I'm sure.
You think so?
Because he's the anchor.
Yeah.
Got to see who's. What did Larry Bird say during that 3-point contest that year? Everybody was warming up, and he came out the locker room and said, "Okay, which one of you guys are coming in second?"
Nice.
So I think it was perfect the way it was laid out, and you could pretty much see who's shooting themselves in the foot and everything, and they all opened their mouths about the wrong thing at least once or twice, except for the one young guy. So
yeah, he has the right answers.
That's just the way I see it. I'm not going to say that's well. That's just the way I see it.
Yeah, that's fair. Thank you, man. Interesting input.
Yeah, and happy Men's Month to you.
Yeah, same to you.
Yeah,
Men's history.
May I?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go out with Morgan Freeman.
Oh, okay.
He's black.
Yeah, he is.
And I like what he said about Black History Month.
Oh, what did he say about it?
Why do we need it?
Nice. Right on.
Exactly.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So he's got a point.
Yeah.
But he's looking at everybody that's going to come in second. But I do agree with JLP. I think the running mate, the hot ticket, would be Larry Elder.
That would be cool. I don't know if it's going to happen. I would be shocked if it were to happen, but
I don't think it will.
But I am sure that Trump appreciates Larry Elder. Yeah.
As they try to do their best to flip California, you see, Larry would come in there and slap everybody upside the head while Trump does the things that needs to be done.
Larry Elder, when he talks about the fatherlessness situation, he really means it. It's not just lip service. Vivek Ramaswamy, according to Larry Elder, he tweeted out, "I'm happy that Vivek Ramaswamy brought up the epidemic of fatherlessness in the debate," which I didn't hear that.
He keeps that. He does keep that out there because there's a lot of blacks who are going to be flipping this coming election because of the behavior in the cities, the inner cities.
Oh, yeah, they want their cops. They need cops.
Yeah, they want their cops back.
Yeah.
And so it's like the guy yesterday in Pittsburgh. He's dead, and that's all you could do with him. That's all it is to it. He shot hundreds of rounds, and they took care of him. And that's what a lot of blacks are not. They're trying to be careful about what they say. In other words, they don't really want their friends to know that they might be flipped into the Conservative Party, which was the original party for black people.
Yeah.
As you know, the Republican Party is younger than the Democratic Party.
I've heard things about the Republican Party's beginnings, and I think that there were evil people in the Republican Party from the beginning, which shouldn't really surprise anybody because there's evil people in everywhere.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, everywhere, both sides. We got RINOs.
Yeah.
And they got a couple of Democrats from the old school. They were okay, but they have blatantly destroyed their party. It attacks their children. It attacks their freedom.
Terrible.
And they want to believe in something that is like a large group. In other words, not doing your individual thinking. And if you support the gay agenda, mixing in with your kids' schools and gay marriage and abortion, you support that. You support the left. That's just simple as that.
It's true. Well, thank you, man. Great call.
All right.
It's good to hear from you. Take care.
And, thanks, Hassan. That was good with your father. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Wow, Hassan on YouTube. Search it.
Yeah, wow.
2 S's.
He looked like he was on it. I was looking at his coat, and I was like, oh, where is he going, to the NBA All-Star game?
Yeah, he was dressed in a pink blazer. That was
yes, he was.
Cute.
Hot pink.
Yeah. Nice.
All right, bro.
All right, take care.
Oh, I wanted to ask you, all of this, garbage going on around us, as we, try to keep the wheels moving. I've been wanting to ask, how is art in Ohio?
Oh.
And I was pleasantly surprised to hear Joe from Phoenix. Been missing him.
Right.
I'm glad to hear that he's okay.
Yeah, every now and then
he's okay. Shout out to Joe from Phoenix. I mean, we don't agree on everything, but I'm glad to hear that he's okay. It was good to hear his voice.
Yeah.
Art in Ohio, I haven't heard in a while.
I know that he was on hold on my line, and I was going to get to him, but he dropped like within the past few weeks. But I haven't heard from him other than that. So we hope he's well. Don't know. Sometimes people go away. They get busy. They get
you get busy and you just listen. Yeah.
So we don't know.
But it was good to hear Joe. Shout out to him. Shout out to Red Dirt Farm, the men, and Happy Men's History Month to everybody.
Thanks again, man.
All right, take care.
All right. That was William in California. Let's get to Kentucky. John from Kentucky on the line. How you doing, John?
Man, William taking up all the time, man. What's going on?
Hey, I don't even think he reached 10 minutes. Normally, I'm on line with callers for like 10 minutes or more. But that was a relatively short call for William. But anyway, maybe it dragged for you because you weren't as interested in his topics, which is fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I never loved to hear him talk. Like he's the worst ever to me.
Oh, okay.
It sounds like he smokes cigarettes, like his voice, like throat cancer or something. But hey, Trump, man.
This sounds kind
Trump is a criminal, correct?
Nasty. Trump what?
He's a criminal, correct?
Maybe, I don't know. It's kind of cool.
So how do you guys still support a criminal if it was the other way around, you guys would like be bashing a Democrat or somebody like that? But it's like when Trump does
not necessarily.
Do you think he tried to steal those votes in Georgia, man?
I think that he, in his mind, he was trying to rightfully take them back. I know I split my infinitive there, but he was rightfully taking them. He was trying to kidnap what the demon rats rightfully stole. Just kidding. No, I mean, I don't. He's not even a convicted criminal, so you can't really call him a criminal. But maybe, I don't know. I don't care.
You don't have to be convicted to be a criminal.
Right.
But, I mean, we all have, we all make our judgments, though.
Yeah, I mean, he was doing it because he was trying to save the republic. He was trying to subvert democracy in order to save the republic.
Okay.
He was trying to suspend the Constitution to uphold integrity of the country. So you can say, this was bad, but this part was good. I think that it was all good, what he sought to do, and you think it was bad, maybe.
I understand the first part. Like, I get that. Like, he feels like, you feel like he's doing something bad in order for something good to happen.
I didn't think it was bad even what he did.
Trying to get lawyers and everybody to be on the same page and make fake electors to steal the votes in Georgia, that's bad. That's wrong, man.
Well, he didn't call them fake electors. That's what the other side calls them.
But what are they? Are they real electors?
Replacement electors or something like that. I don't know what he called them. I don't think he called them fake, though.
Well,
he wasn't trying to.
I don't.
I don't know if it's so obvious. Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, you can't arrest somebody for nothing, can you?
No, you can.
You gotta have the evidence.
Right. You can make a claim that it's against the law. You could say arguably it's against the law or something like that. But arguable and questionable and all this stuff. This is politics, really. It's weaponizing the government pushing politics. Yeah, because there's no way of knowing what really went down.
Well, when he goes to court,
yeah,
then everything will come out, right?
No, it won't.
But it won't come out.
It will not come out.
Everything stays hidden with them lawyers.
No, I'm not talking about what I'm talking about with what really happened. It will not all come out because we don't keep tabs on every single human being in this country, so we don't know what people did.
But the president is not your average person, man. We keep tabs on the president.
I know,
it's
but
big
Trump.
News.
But his claims about whatever happened, no one can debunk them entirely because no one really knows what really happened. Maybe as far as I know.
The people that were in on it, those 18 people that were with him, including Rudy Giuliani.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about their efforts.
Whose efforts?
I'm talking about the efforts of people who are not even in the news.
Well, the truth's gonna come out, man. Everybody knows.
Exactly, the truth does not come out. Yeah.
I said it will come out.
Oh no, it doesn't.
But
no, it will not.
Well, I was gonna say something, man.
Okay.
But you got me off track.
Yeah.
Larry Elder.
Uh-huh.
He will never be the president because he's just like Jesse, man. He thinks all the problems stem from the black race. All of them. Like, that's his main talking point.
That's
if
silly.
He was on that stage last night, he would have been lost. You know what I mean? If he was on that stage last night, he would have been lost.
That's your speculation.
He wouldn't have anything to talk about.
I think he would have been the only real, genuine guy on the stage.
Yeah, but do you think all the problems of America stem from black people? The negative stuff that comes from black people?
No. Where do you get the notion that Larry Elder thinks that, or Jesse Lee?
Because when I watch Jesse's show,
yeah,
that's what it is. He whines and cries about black issues. And then when I've
never heard Jesse Lee whine or cry.
Liar.
No,
liar.
I'm serious.
And then when I heard Larry Elder on the Breakfast Club, that's what he was doing the whole time. He's
the Breakfast
Jesse's
Club is a black
brother.
show. They're all into the black thing. So what else are you going to talk about with black
brother,
stuff?
Man.
Huh?
He's Jesse's twin brother.
No, man. I think you're just sensitive because you identify with the blacks.
Man, I don't care.
Yeah,
you
clearly do.
And also, your side is losing, Hake.
Whose side is that?
Your side is
God's
losing.
side?
No, you're not on God's side, man. You're on the side that created America, and the chickens are coming home to roost, man.
Oh, you're one of those people who celebrates the destruction of America, even though it's not going to go well for you either.
Well, you think it's not going to go well for me. It's only going to be bad for me for a short time until my Savior comes back. And that's one thing you guys don't don't believe. You don't believe Christ is coming back. You think he's already came back and everything is just milk and honey. But the earth is in
So you don't have peace right now?
I have peace. I have joy. But every now and then I'll have a hiccup in my life, but that's normal.
Oh, okay.
But you guys act like it's just everything's just bad. So I don't know how y'all's lives are, but my life's going good right now.
You think that Jesus is going to come back in your lifetime? Black Jesus, whatever you guys call him, Yahshua?
I feel it, but no man knows. But I feel it. I have a high feeling about it.
When I was a kid, I wanted to believe and felt that Jesus is going to come back so I wouldn't have to die. I don't know if you heard me on the JLP show. So I wouldn't have to die.
No.
I would get to go through the rapture so I don't have to get tortured or else deny Jesus.
But what about when you found out the truth that since your forefathers put my forefathers in slavery and oppressed us, that you have to pay for your forefathers' sins?
That's silly. I know nothing about that, and neither do you.
That's what's in the Bible.
No, it isn't.
You got to put everything into context, man. I'm sorry, but that's what's got to happen.
Are you sorry?
Huh?
Are you
Am I
sorry? Yeah, you said I'm sorry, but that.
Well, I'm not genuinely sorry. I'm just
Okay.
saying I'm sorry that you feel that way.
But don't you notice? Don't you notice that you reap ill? You reap evil when you sow evil, and you reap good when you sow good.
That's not evil. That's not evil.
I'm talking about in your life.
Yeah, but I don't do any evil.
Oh, okay,
nice.
Nice.
I don't do any evil. Who wants to do evil, Hake? Like, that makes no sense.
I agree, but we end up doing it, don't you?
Hey, the next time I call you, man, we got to talk about the BRICS thing that's going on. You know, that's biblical too, right?
What BRICS? We'll talk about it.
With Russia and China and I forget the other two. But
is that what Tony was talking about with the money?
Yes.
Okay.
That's biblical, man. We've been talking about that for decades now.
All right.
And that's going to be the beginning of the end for America, Babylon. That's going to be the end. And then, you know how Jesse says that he wants his country back, but he don't have hope that it's coming back. He's right.
Yeah.
It's not coming back.
Nice.
It's only going to go downhill. It's going to get worse, but then it's going to build back up.
Well, happy Men's History Month to you.
Man, I don't care about no Men's History Month, no White History Month, no none of that stuff. None of that stuff, man.
Well,
but I got to go, man.
All right. Have a good one.
All right.
Take care. That's the Black Hebrew Israelite, John in Kentucky. Guys, we're at the top of the hour. Before I get back to calls, let's play some manly music somewhat. Sort of. I don't know. This is Stavesacre. I'm going to play that song again called Gold and Silver, but this is the original version, I guess, of Gold and Silver with Mark Solomon singing in Stavesacre. It's a Christian band. Tooth and Nail Records, 1999. Speakeasy is the name of the album. I hope you enjoy it. You can grin and bear it, you musical Philistines. You can cover your ears and sing La La La, the Hake Report. Go outside, shovel snow, rake your leaves, plant your garden, harvest your crops. Some of you guys said that you have a garden now because of Hake News. That's cool. Happy to help. Crack the whip, sling your cattle, get the whip cracked on you, keep a good attitude, suffer with dignity and no opinion. I'll be right back for the rest of hour 2. Hang tight.
and every burning tear seems insincere. Do I see God in all of this? Or maybe all along it's just that we're so small and simply not as strong. Strong like wings of silver and feathers made of gold, to carry heavy hearts, to cover all our helpless souls, to cover all of
Not bad, right? No female vocals in this one.
Stay a while, stay a while, stay a while.
Kind of dramatic. Decent, I guess. Solid meh from me. Food fighters. Is it AAPI month yet? No, but Fob Friday is coming up. Not bad. Not bad. So it is bad. Good music, but it's not Chicken Lips or Matilda the Gorilla. I agree, Charlie Church. Hake needs to play some Mozart. I'm going to play Oliver Anthony on loop in my delivery truck the rest of my shift, says Matthew. Kind of sounds like Depeche Mode. Well, thank you guys again, bearing with me through the beautiful music. I got some more super chats and then back to calls and hopefully stories. Over on buymeacoffee.com/The Hake Report, Star Sion bought 3 coffees saying, Hank Williams. Thank you. And Lin Yen Chin says on Streamlabs, Lloyd Goodhair, why use the womanly perspective of describing my clinical analysis and honest praise for Ted Nugent's mastery of LARPing? It's direct, not backhanded, because it makes mama inside you feel it is disrespect. It was normal respect. Slice of that gross fruit called watermelon emoji. Nice sign, like I guess Mr. Spock used to do, live long and prosper, even though he eventually died. But he lived an okay life and prospered, that actor. And robot emoji. Yeah, I'm not a fan of watermelon. I like watermelon. I probably would like the watermelon cocktail that Trayvon got, but I don't think that I should be drinking lean. I've never tried it. I don't think I should. NyQuil's it's rough. Anyway, or Robitussin, whatever. Yeah, I didn't know you were talking about Ted Nugent. I thought you were talking about Hassan's dad. Or that's funny. Anyway, Lin Yen Chin continues. Figured it out. The most crucial point of distraction, maybe? He may have misspelled it, may have typoed. That is heart of every failure. The most crucial point of maybe distraction is that is the heart of every failure. We all have inappropriate sense of boundaries. Sometimes too boundaried, and sometimes not boundaried enough, perhaps, maybe. This defines every point of relation, every act of conflation as we flounder in habits that bind and invariably defeat us. Interesting, Lin Yen Chin. Thank you, man. As usual, for the supers. Okay, guys, let me just double check. Oh, Evil is still... Oh, no, I was chuckling about this chat, and then he turned it into a super chat. Evil is still real. Says, in a Rumble rant, and I'm holding my head. I have a slight headache, maybe because I haven't had... Never mind. Mr. James Hake, although homosexual acts involve two men, this fact does not make your homosexual music, quote-unquote, manly. Just FYI, for your information. Shout out to all the non-R-worded etarded ray people. Also, shout out to the Hake chat. Nice. Thank you, Evil is still real. That was amusing. Whites can be amusing, but not entertaining as blacks and, I guess, Jewish people are entertaining too. Yeah. That's what I say. Some whites are entertaining. But thank you for the amusing super chat. Let me get to David in Ocala, Florida. Wants to talk about this Pence thing in Israel. What's up, David in Ocala? How are you doing? Happy Men's History Month.
Happy Men's History Month, man. You can call me 008 because 8's my lucky number. How's that?
Okay. 8 stands for new beginnings. I heard from one Christian lady, friend of the family of mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
7 is the number of completion. 8 is the number of new beginnings. And also Asians like the number 8. But they don't like the number 4.
I was born December 8th. That's why it's my lucky number.
Ah.
Yeah, man, I got to wear that number when I played Little League. Anyway, hey, I called because I had to call, man, because, Pence is so weak. I mean, that guy, he couldn't close a woman on a troop carrier, okay? If he brought a woman onto a ship, he couldn't even close the deal.
But he wouldn't do that because he's a Christian.
Well,
in his defense.
Saying, look, could you imagine him trying to pick a girl up at a bar? I mean, give me a break.
Well, I did like how he steamrolled and manhandled, let's remember lovingly for Men's History Month, Mike Pence manhandling and steamrolling, cackling Kamala Harris in that debate. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
That was nice.
Okay.
So,
okay.
But yeah,
well,
irregardless, he's weak. He's still weak.
She's pretty simple to do that, but
yeah.
I heard you brought up Israel. It's funny because this week I've been talking to my wife about this. Go ahead.
Oh, I started to jump in. You have a wife. I forgot because you married one gal or was fiancé.
My high school sweetheart. Yeah.
And then so now this is your
years.
Second wife.
Yep.
Okay.
So I was talking to her about this because
pardon my interruption, but I have to interrupt. Before or after you became Christian, you remarried?
I was already a Christian. I did what y'all talk about. I married a woman because of how much I desired her. I didn't look at her family background. Yeah, I didn't look at all the hidden all this stuff that I should have been looking for. Was her mother and father together for a long time? Did she have a good childhood? That kind of stuff. I didn't look at none of
I'm talking about this current wife.
Well, my current wife, I've been married. I was
before or after you became a serious Christian?
Well, I became more of a serious Christian after I met her and married her.
Oh, okay. So you met her and married her, and then after that, you became a more serious Christian.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll give you an idea. I mean, my
I ask that just because a lot of people, a lot of Christians are divorcing and remarrying, and I don't see how they figure that that's right,
it's
good
not
to do.
Okay, I told you that she
adultery.
left me. She was committing adultery.
No,
And
it's
she's been
adultery
married
to divorce
5
and
times.
remarry is what I was saying.
Huh?
Oh, I was saying it's adultery to divorce and remarry.
Unless the person commits adultery on you, it says. But I understand. I see your side
I don't know
of
if that is. I don't even know if that's allowed, to be honest, because he didn't really say you can.
Yeah, I know, but
But anyway,
whatever.
Yeah, I
she's
mean,
been good
what's
for
done
me,
is
man.
done.
She's been real good for me.
You have children by her, this second wife?
No, she's had diabetes since she was 9 years old. So I already had 2 kids, and I just don't want to put her through all that.
Oh, you have 2 kids by the first wife.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Diabetes
Anyway, so
is not good for getting pregnant, huh?
Right. Yeah. I mean, she's. I mean, if you saw her, you wouldn't believe she's 50 years old. I mean, she's never drank, smoked, done anything. She really eats real good, and so she doesn't even look like she's 50 years old. She looks more like she's probably like 43 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I was talking to my wife this week because the school buses have been out, picking up the kids and all that.
All right.
Where I live. And I'm telling you, man, there's you'll pass 25 kids and only one of them will be white. So I told her, I said, now I'm not trying to get prejudiced or nothing here, but that wasn't, when I was a kid, it wasn't like that. Okay. So now that I'm older, it's really messing with my mind. Okay? Because it's like they flooded this place. Okay. But anyway, so I told her, I said, you know why I know that God doesn't like this, okay? And she goes, why is that? I go, because he wouldn't allow this to happen to Israel. And this is why I called you. Okay?
Oh, interesting.
Because I just told her this. I said, look, he would not allow them. And Hake, I'm not kidding you. I went down and sat in my little lazy boy recliner last night, and I opened up my Bible, and I opened it right to where it talks about this. And it's Deuteronomy 7. Y'all can go read it yourself. And God said, don't mix with them people. Don't mix your races. Don't do none of that, because they're going to have you seeking other gods, okay, besides me. All right? And that's a problem here, too. I mean, all these different religions moved in here in the late 60s and early 70s. All this, stuff came in, and the New Age stuff went wild and crazy. And, it's just not good.
Yeah.
So,
Vivek Ramaswamy, speaking of not Christian people and non-white people, he's Hindu. He's talking about God and believing in God and wanting a national identity, and he's Hindu. He's not even a Christian.
The true God is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. If they mention any other God besides that, it's not the true God. There's only one true God, and that's the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And I'm going to tell you right now,
according to Google, Hinduism has a monotheistic as well as polytheistic elements. One God as well as many gods elements. The ultimate reality or supreme being, Brahman.
Brahma. Yeah, he was the creator of all, is what they say. That's why that guy prayed to him up in Washington a while back. To him and said, "A man and a woman." You remember that?
Oh, vaguely.
That was his closing line. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Was that a black person? I think that was a black.
Yeah, he was.
They also exist. The supreme being Brahman also exists simultaneously in the deities of the creator Brahma, or the sustainer Vishnu, and the destroyer Shiva. So that's kind of like the Trinitarians, the people who believe in the one God in 3 persons. Father, God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. Oh, you're one of them, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
so you're kind of like
Bible.
the Hindu.
No, I'm not.
A little bit.
No, I'm not like the Hindu. No,
yeah, I mean, the Hindus believe in the Trinity.
You got to search that out yourself, buddy. You got to search that out yourself about the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, baby.
I did.
I can't. Well, that's okay. Maybe. I think it's John 1:5 where it talks about that. It's either 1 John 1:5 or something. Anyway, it's in there. It talks about that. So
okay. I don't want to take you off course from.
Yeah,
from
really,
because
I wanted to tell you that the other thing is to see Jesus, because somebody was talking about Jesus coming back. Y'all were talking about that. He's not going to come back and put his feet down on the Mount of Olives until those Jews say, "Blessed is he that comes in the name of the Lord."
Maybe that's what Hassan's dad was talking about. Because I didn't really think that Hassan's dad. I don't know if you caught Wow Hassan yesterday.
No, I didn't, but I will watch it next Wednesday.
You know how to find it?
I'll find it.
Walking on Water Hassan, all one word. YouTube.com/@ you know that little circle @ sign?
Uh-huh.
YouTube.com/@ Walking on Water Hassan. And he interviewed his father, who's Muslim. Hassan was raised Christian, right? Hassan's from Florida, too, by the way.
Yeah, he told me near the Orlando area.
Yeah. Close to Ocala.
Yeah, it's not too far, about an hour and 15 minutes if you get it.
Skunky X says, "Hey, your sect broke off from the true church. You're mocking." I'm whatever, man. We already been over this, Skunky X, I'm pretty sure, in a prior day, and I'm on the phone with Dave in Ocala. But thanks for your chat.
Check this out, man. If they were to invade Israel right now, if somebody tried to invade Israel, God would kill them. Okay.
Who's they?
You would see anybody. Iran,
okay, because you mentioned
Iraq,
till the people, the Jews, the people of Israel, acknowledge that Jesus is the Christ. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Because Hassan's dad was saying that he thinks that Muslims, Christians, and Jewish people, Jews, their religion all revolves around Jesus, and that the only problem with the Jews is that they don't acknowledge Jesus as the Messiah. They're waiting for the Messiah, but someday they will recognize that Jesus is the Messiah. I'm like, fat chance.
That's true.
I'm like, fat chance, but you're right. It's some of them will, huh? Many of them already do.
At the end, there's only going to be about a third of them, they say, that make it out of the Great Tribulation. 2/3 of them are going to get killed, but they're going to realize at the end that he is the true Messiah.
Okay, nice, man.
So the other thing I wanted to say is wait till, these Democrats that just, are blind. I mean, we already spent $100 billion in Ukraine and they still need tanks. I mean, what a bunch of bull. Well, wait until, look at Oakland. Look at them people in Oakland right now meeting because these kids are just driving by and freaking robbing them left and right, these white old people. I saw the community meeting, on YouTube where they're going, there's no consequences for these kids. Okay, y'all got a bail thing of up to $1,000, they got to prosecute them. They got to get caught stealing more than $1,000 worth of stuff, and they wonder why people are just walking in these stores and stealing. I mean, y'all are in bad shape out there in California. I mean, San Francisco is finished, okay? And it's because of Democrats and people that are blind, like some of the people that call up here.
Yeah.
That they say they're Christian, but they believe in abortion and that two dudes can get it on. And that's wrong, man.
That was a little more explicit than I wanted to hear, but
well,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but,
I accept.
If the Holy Spirit lives in you, you ain't supposed to do that kind of stuff. Even when I was messing around and doing the wrong thing, I knew before I did it I was doing wrong, and I still chose wrong, and I was wrong for doing that. So,
man, I appreciate your call, David.
All right, well, all right, man. I wanted to say something else, but I'll let you go. Okay.
Okay, man. Call me tomorrow.
Oh, no, I'll call you in a week or so. I appreciate you taking my call. I just had to straighten up that deal about Israel.
Yeah.
Go read Deuteronomy 7, man. It'll tell you all about it. And I really couldn't believe that I opened my Bible right to that last night after talking about this.
Okay.
So, all right. So have a great day.
You as well,
y'all
man.
Be good.
Happy Men's History Month.
Hey, you too, buddy. Bye.
Bye. David in Ocala. Let's talk about Trump and the border wall. Gotta correct the record. I read some CNN this morning. Hake. Hake reads Commie Nonsense Network. This is from Fact Check. Fact Check, as Hillary said. You can go to HillaryClinton.com and fact check. The first Republican presidential debate of the 2024 election. And for some reason, they fact-checked Trump, because even though Trump was not there. Is from CNN Politics. Trump claimed that Carlson, as in Tucker Carlson, our greatest president, Trump that is, Quote, I had the strongest border in the history of our country, and I built almost 500 miles of wall. You know, they'd like to say, oh, was it less? No, I built 500 miles. Nearly 500 miles. In fact, if you check with the authorities on the border, we built almost 500 miles of wall. And so evil CNN says, facts first. This needs context. Psst. It does not need context. But anyway, Trump and his critics are talking about different things when they use different figures of how much border wall was built. Did you know this? During his presidency, Trump is referring to all the wall built on the southern border during his administration, even in areas that already had some sort of barrier, so-called, before. Okay? But it may have been dilapidated or whatever, needed to be replaced. His critics are only counting the Trump-era wall that was built in parts of the border that did not have any previous barrier. Okay, but that's not the whole context. CNN continues. See, CNN has helpful information. A total of 458 miles of southern border wall was built under our greatest president, Donald J. Trump. They don't call him that, but I do. According to a federal report written 2 days after Trump left office and obtained by Commie Nonsense Network CNN's Priscilla Alvarez. Nice American name. Nice white Anglo-American name. But that's okay. I'm being sarcastic. That is a Spanish name. That is 52 miles of primary wall built where no barriers previously existed, plus 33 miles of secondary wall that was built in spots where no barriers previously existed, whatever that means, secondary, plus another 373 miles of primary and secondary wall that was built to replace previous barriers that the federal government says has become dilapidated or outdated. You guys know what dilapidated means? I mean, basically everybody knows without ever having heard the definition. It just sounds bad. It just sounds weak, falling apart. Of a building or object in a state of disrepair or ruin as a result of age or neglect. All right? And that's according to the dictionary, which is fake news, but maybe not in this case. Some of Trump's rival candidates, such as DeSantis, did he used to call it DeSantis or DeSantis? His wife made him change his pronunciation. That's what I heard. I could be wrong. And Christie, have used figures around 50 miles while criticizing Trump for failing to finish the wall. Silly callers, I don't want to call them dumb too much in front of the kids. But dumb callers calling to Hake, Trump didn't build the wall. Yes, he did. He may not have been able to finish. He needed a little bit more time. But he was ready to be reelected in a landslide. And then shenanigans such as the China virus happened. And it was get Trump time. Counting only the primary wall built where no barriers previously existed. Blah, blah, blah. Now listen to this. While some Trump critics have scoffed at the replacement wall, listen to this. CNN being fair. Hey! The Trump-era construction was generally much more formidable. Hey! Than the old barriers it replaced, which were often designed to deter vehicles rather than people, because a whole lot of people have been crossing the borders. Minors, unaccompanied alien children, UACs, so-called children. On foot, the Washington ComPost reporter Nick Miroff tweeted in 2020, listen to this. I feel like I remember this too. As someone who has spent a lot of time lately in the shadow of the border wall, I need to puncture this notion that quote-unquote replacement sections are quote-unquote not new, he tweeted. There really is no comparison between the vehicle barriers made from the old rail ties. They made vehicle barriers from old rail ties and 30-foot bollards, meaning wall. 30-foot wall. Boom! Truth coming from CNN and Washington ComPost. Shout out to Commie Nonsense Network. Ideally, both Trump and his opponents would be clearer about what they are talking about. Not remotely. Trump is quite clear. He built that much wall. It's clear. Trump, that he is including replacement barriers. So what? So what? His opponents, that they're excluding those barriers, which is dishonest, disingenuous, ignorant, lame-o, deceiving people, lying with facts. That's why truth is more important than facts. Facts are not truth. Facts versus truth. Get your T-shirt from the Hake Report Teespring store. Send it in the chat. From CNN's Daniel Dale. Be quiet, Daniel Dale. But overall, I give you an 8. I give you a B, a solid B on your reporting. You trying to be fair-minded and pretend like Trump is leaving out information that's key. It's not key. Anyway, I got to get to this story. It's funny. It's cool. Kind of tired of hearing my voice anyway. Let's hear an abortion governor. But before we hear this abortion governor, let's hear Jenn Psaki. You know that redhead? Is that her natural hair, or did she add coloring into it because little white strands are coming out too already? Who knows? But it doesn't look totally natural. But I don't know. People have accused Hake of dyeing his hair. I was in 8th grade, and some Asian guy who's in competition with me, I wasn't in competition with him, for like the presidential something, American Legion Award. He wanted to get the American Legion Award. I didn't care. He told some teacher, according to what the rumor is, somebody told me that he told a teacher that I dye my hair, which I never did. But anyway, Jenn Psaki on X, she tweeted this. Abortion Jenn Psaki, I think, is the... she's the Obama person, and now she's then she was the Sleepy Joe person, press secretary, and then they replaced her with that black lesbian foreigner. No one supports abortion up until birth, so claims Jenn Psaki. Lying. And I say, what's the difference? I found it an interesting tweet. I'm like, as if that's supposed to be like a good thing. Oh, you want a medal? You don't want abortion up until birth? Well, she's not saying it because she wants a medal. Maybe she thinks she's a good person because I don't want abortion up until birth. Just abortion up until like 8 months or 7 months or 6 months. Not up until birth, or up until right before birth, but not until birth. And I've told you that I've heard pro-lifer women, which, I don't know, you take what they say with a grain of salt, because I've heard them say that sometimes they deliver the baby and then kill it. I wouldn't be surprised. What's the difference, killing it inside or outside the womb? What's the difference? Where's your line? Your line is blurry because you don't have a line. You just go by feelings. You dumb, stupid, silly dude person. Jenn Psaki. Zoom in on that face if you can. I don't know. Is she showing her face? I don't think she's showing her face. Jenn Psaki. Psaki. I think she's showing her torso and head, so it's very blurry. Mildly attractive, from far away, blurry. No, I found her mildly attractive. Yeah. Thank you, Hassan. Oh, that's funny. If you squint, it's an attractive. You can tell it's a lady. So let's hear this. Fact check from Anomaly, Legendary Energy on Twitter is his username. He quote tweeted her and posted this video. And did he add any comment? He put wrong. Yeah, he wrote wrong, and he posted with a period, wrong, like Trump. And so she shares a Twitter video originally posted by Grant Taylor of this guy named this Virginia governor, Ralph Northam, suggesting a baby can be killed after birth, seeming to suggest that. Listen to this. Ralph Northam on a radio show with some ladies, and I may be using the term loosely, I'm not sure. Ralph Northam, Virginia governor, a Democrat, a male Democrat, a white-seeming male Democrat. Oh, he found a nice picture of Jenn Psaki. Man, you're a legend. Wow, Hassan on YouTube. Walking on Water Hassan. Look at that mischievous, evil grin. I'm picking up on the evil of these smiling ladies who are otherwise somewhat mildly attractive and I picked up on that from our resident health expert, Lisa. I felt like I saw her in the chat earlier today. I could be wrong. Ew, take it down, says Cameron 1423. Oh, come on. It's a nice smile. She does head pointed down a little bit, looking up, which makes her seem more evil or shy or something. Censor, please. Bill, somebody. Abortion up to age 40. That should be allowed, says Lin Yen Chin. Whoa. Oh, so you mean like... Okay, so anyway, here's the Ralph Northam clip. Listen to this. He's a doctor, too, by the way. I saw this on Tucker the first time. Oh, did I give it to you? It's clip 44, I think. Let me know if you have it. Okay, here it is.
If a mother is in labor, I can tell you exactly what would happen. The infant would be delivered. The infant would be kept comfortable. The infant would be resuscitated if that's what the mother and the family desired. And then a discussion would ensue between the physicians and the mother. So I think this was really blown out of proportion. But again, we want the government not to be involved in these types of decisions. We want the decision to be made by the mothers and their providers. And this is why, Julie, that legislators, most of whom are men, by the way, shouldn't be telling a woman what she should and shouldn't be doing with her body.
And do you think multiple physicians should have to weigh in, as is currently required? She's trying to lift that requirement.
Well, I think it's always good to get a second opinion, and for at least two providers to be involved in that decision, because these decisions shouldn't be taken lightly. And so, you know, I would certainly support more than one provider.
And he's a doctor. He's a doctor. At least he sick, says Anonymous. 666, sick. Alex Jones was all over this. You mean my competitor? I don't, it's sort of presumptuous, don't you think, Lord BB42, for you to be naming my competitor in the chat? Half kidding. Hake, seriously, man, you are talking more about killing babies in or outside the womb than a bunch of crazy feminists in a BLM meeting. You need to chill, says Nugget Man. I'm not acting like it's a thing to do, though. This woman's lying that no one supports it up until birth. It sounded like this man was... Maybe he misspoke. That was in 2019. Maybe he misspoke. He sounded like Forrest Gump. Yeah. He wore blackface, allegedly. That he says that wasn't him. And that would be cool. The good old days, right? The good old days. Nugget Man is so right, says Cradle to Grave, no fear. Whatever, man. What's wrong with it? What's wrong with talking about the evil that happens and the evil that they support? Irresponsibility. Yes, a man should tell a woman what she's allowed to do with the body that God lent her and the child whom the man gave her. You could have censored Alex Jones, Hake. I could have, yeah. Anyway. Well, as long as the baby is kept comfortable. Yeah, I know. Ridiculous. That's why I don't trust doctors. They're dishonest. They're a bunch of liberals. I was talking about these laws about, I heard that in the Republican debate, that they were hemming and hawing about whether they would do a national 15-week abortion ban. And they were hemming and hawing about it. Well, how about, let's say, you shouldn't be killing babies. How about that? Born or unborn. How about that? Like JLP says, I guess the life of the mother. Trump is for the exceptions. Rape, incest, the life of the mother. It doesn't make sense to kill a baby in the case of rape or incest. I get that it may come out more deformed with the incest, right? Because if your genes are too similar, then they come out all discombobulated, all inbred. And blacks frequently refer to whites as inbred. It's a slur that blacks use against whites, at least on the internet. But at least the ones from the country. And I've heard stories about some of the not normal whites being more, inbred like that. So that's why they're coming out more deformed in different ways. Their face is kind of horrific. But anyway, it doesn't mean you kill the baby. Right? Right. Women don't have the right to play God, nor do doctors. It's not up for decision or debate. You made the decision to lay down. Or you made the decision to make yourself vulnerable to getting R-worded aped. Or whatever. Anyway, let's move on. Nugget Man is right, somewhat. Okay, let's talk about this groveling Smithsonian head of the Smithsonian Institute. Smithsonian groveling under black leadership to blacks, to emotions. I got this quote from CNN yesterday, Wednesday. The Smithsonian, I think I have pictures of this Lonnie Bunch guy. Lonnie Bunch, is that his name? Yeah, I have a few of them. Google images of him, anyway. The Smithsonian is grappling with a legacy once deemed acceptable, but that is so clearly ethically wrong today, says this guy, Lonnie G. Bunch III. I'm like, that sounds like a black. And sure enough, he's black. Secretary of the Smithsonian Institute, head of the Smithsonian, apologizing for the dark history behind the institution's collection of human remains. At least they didn't get them from abortions. They got them from people who just so happened to be dead already. They didn't kill anybody that I know of. Smithsonian? Bunch's statement, Lonnie Bunch that is, comes after a Washington ComPost investigation the other week, last week I guess, revealed the Smithsonian's National Museum of Natural History is currently in possession of at least 30,700 human body parts. Wow. Including 255 brains. Whoa. Is this gross? Not if you have a strong stomach and just don't think about it. Taken largely from, get this, people of color. Oh, you can turn the AC up 1 degree or so, I think. Because it is getting cool in here. I turned the AC on, but you can turn it up 1 degree or so. I don't need to preserve any brains in here. No brains to speak of in here. Anyway, taken largely from people of color. So this guy apologizing to dead blacks in the early 1900s, people of color, or non-whites largely, right? And mostly without their consent. I mean, does a dead person care? Does a dead person have a right to care? Maybe. I mean, I know that there's obvious signs of disrespect, like in the olden days, sometimes they would hold up string up a body and display it. You know, what lynching was partly about was to like, see, check this out. This is what happens when you impose with crimes, allegedly, on our community. You know? So don't do that. Like an example, set an example out of them. or to strike fear and terror in people. Terrorism. In rougher days, right? Tougher times. Radium Rickshaw asks, any chimp brains? Perhaps, I don't know. And I'm not pro-Smithsonian, whatever Smithsonian was doing back in the day. I don't know if they were even Christian back then. But to me, this is so clearly ethically wrong today. Whatever, Lonnie G. Bunch the Third. What do you care? Oh, well. Oh, well, right? Oh, well. Let's take a rest, shall we? Let's take a rest. That's enough for that guy. He's been a museum guy for a long time. So this Lonnie Bunch feller, he was born in 1952, 70 years old. His grandfather was a former sharecropper, kind of like JLP's grandpa. Nice. Anyway, his grandfather became one of the first black dentists in New Jersey somewhere, I think. Anyway, his family were the only blacks in the neighborhood in Belleville, New Jersey when he grew up, I guess, according to whatever. And it's sort of this I guess you can show him a little bit again since I'm talking about him. And then we'll take a quick vacation, okay? Lonnie Bunch started working at the Smithsonian Institution when he was working on his master's degree, right? In 1983, he became the first curator at the California African American Museum, CAM. California African American Museum. He was hired as a history professor at University of Maryland. Before that, I guess. He worked at the National Museum of American History, I guess, 89 till 94 as a curator. So he's been a museum guy for a while. And then in 2005, he was named as director of the Smithsonian Institution's National Museum of African American History and Culture. Designed a program of traveling exhibitions and public events prior to opening the museum. He was serving on the Commission of the Preservation of the White House during the George W. Bush administration, reappointed to the commission by Obama in 2010. And then in 2019, he was elected Secretary of the Smithsonian Institution. He became the first historian and first black to lead the Smithsonian in its 173-year history. I call that an affirmative action election because everybody's like, ooh, blacks. Ooh, let's let's do this and call it history. Anyway. Good for him, I guess. Whatever. Seems like he's kind of into the black thing and kissing up and fake apologies and mess, grappling with a legacy once deemed acceptable, so clearly ethically wrong today. What, just because you have dead body parts of blacks without their permission, mostly without their consent? It's totally different times. Nothing to apologize for. It's not a dark history, in my opinion. Okay, now let's take a vacation. A vacation from my problems. This is from Commie Nonsense Network, CNN. Is that his dress on the left? Maybe it's his dashiki, which is an African garb. Anyway, CNN reports, science says a few idle days can give you a big mental boost. Oh, yeah. That doesn't look like a dashiki. Science says a few idle days can give you a big mental boost. You know, taking a vacation, even before you take the time off. You know, because of anticipating the fun, I get to take a vacation. Ooh, I can't wait to take this vacation. Sometimes they say that that the anticipation is better and worse than the thing itself in your imagination. You're anticipating this terrible pain. Oh, and then sometimes it's worse to me. Sometimes. Like, oh, I did not anticipate how bad that would hurt. Like, imagine getting shot. Like, you can't really probably imagine getting shot. And then you go on and you beat up the person, you shoot other people, and then you crumple to the ground. You forget about the pain or whatever. But other people, when they get shot, they're like, it hurts. It hurts. One guy got shot. My geometry teacher told me this in high school, or told the class this. One guy got shot and said, it hurts. Because you see these Hollywood people. Anyway, that's just, the reality is different from what you think. Learn how vacations have direct benefits on your brain, says CNN, Commie Nonsense Network. Oh, I think I have this headline in the folder there, Hassan, maybe. Vacation? Yeah, vacation, good for you, CNN. It's from CNN Travel, Juan Perez Fernandez and Roberto de la Torre Martinez. Shout out to the Hispanics. And do you see it in their folder there? It's V for vacation. Bechica. Vacation. Okay, so they say rest increases your cognitive flexibility. People can think of more uses, for example, cognitive flexibility. What is cognitive flexibility? Well, for example, people who've just had a vacation can think of more uses for a hammer than before a vacation. Because your brain's rested and can think clearly, or think of things clearly. Imagine uses for a hammer or a tool. You can come up with, it's more cognitive flexibility. They're not all stressed out and stiff and intense. Oh, hammer's only for this. Hitting. Also, they admit stress is not bad for you. Unless it's quote-unquote chronic. Helps you get things done. You know, lights a fire underneath you. For example, a woman being forced to carry her child to term. Forced to have that baby. Then it's sink or swim. You got to take care of that baby. Some do it more capably than others, I suppose. Bill Murray is a national treasure. Yeah. That's what I meant when I said, take a vacation. A vacation from our problems. That's a hat tip to the movie What About Bob, which doesn't have that much cussing in it. So maybe it's like the second Christian-friendly movie behind... What's that one show? What's that one movie that all the Christians know? The Princess Bride. So anyway, stress is not bad for you unless it's chronic, they say. But I just found that interesting. Huh? Nice, huh? Nice little thing. Stress. I remember part of the reason I started trying to become more serious of a Christian was because I was in high school, and freshman year we went to Forest Home, which is a Christian family camp. We went to the high school camp. My first year going to the high school camp, I was going into becoming a freshman in high school. First year, right? 9th grade. And the guy said, wouldn't you like to not have stress? And then he opens up the Bible talking about worry. Because what is stress but worry? Kind of, sometimes. Not necessarily. But stress is bad for you if it's worry. Jesus said, do not worry. Peace, I leave with you, blah, blah, blah. And then the whole rest of my high school career, I'm like, oh, I want peace. I don't want stress. I don't want worry. Terrible. What a mess. So, I say that, prayer, silent prayer, for example, is a vacation. maybe. Of course, it also goes into facing reality of the messed up lies and thoughts. Taking a Sabbath, a day off a week, a real rest, not chasing after fun necessarily, is somewhat of a vacation. It's good for you. So, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I just felt like chasing that, and these CNN women and female-minded liberal males don't know how to handle the stress well, and so they stress more. Anyway, you can take that picture down. Cover your eyes, kids. Oh, I didn't notice that. Anyway, guys, this has been the Hake Report. Hope you liked it. Hope you appreciated it. Let me just double check for any last supers over here. Spoiler alert says, fun fact, dilapidated comes directly from the Latin having had stones thrown at it. Whoa. Spoiler alert, also bought another coffee. I suspect that Hinduism's Brahma, god of creation, is a cultural deification of a man named Abraham, Brahma, Abram. Also compare the respective wives of Brahma and Abraham. Saraswati versus Sarai/Sarah. Yeah. Wow. Interesting points there, spoiler alert. And thank you, guys. I think that's all as far as these things go. Supers go. So let's listen to some Christian punk. This is Contentment by Left Out. I hope you enjoy it. It's from the 1999 album For the Working Class. Adios, America. Enjoy. And I'll sit with you through it. Here it is.
All your desires have been fulfilled. Things of your life come to you for free. Got the loose ends and your soul's distilled. Living repetition, living better than me. Do not conform. Be transformed. Renew your mind. God's will is good.
Do not conform.
Again, is this fight almost over? Bound to this world, your life is a debt. Blinded by yourself, blue light almost over. Lost in your world while you have slept. Do not conform. Be transformed. Renew your mind. God's will is good.
Isn't that a nice message?
Let me be content in my circumstance. Let me be content in my dependence.
Let me be content in my
Let
circumstance,
me be content in my circumstance.
in my dependence.
Let me be content in my dependence. Let me be content with the blessings God has given to me.
Blessings.
Let me be content with the blessings God has given to me. Let me be content in my joy. Let me be content in my sufferings.
Let me be content in my sufferings. Isn't that nice?
I know what is good and it's good for me. Loving my God is a time well spent. Planning my life for eternity. Now stand to be content. Do not conform. Be transformed. Renew your mind. God's will is good.
God's will is good. Adios, America. Where are our lyrics, Hake? Maybe another time. Bye.